Welcome to the Mount Sinai Legend Circle podcast, produced and hosted by Talent Development and Learning. In this series, we interview colleagues who have worked at the Mount Sinai Health System for more than 40 years. Each interview gives us a glimpse of the history and evolution of life at Mount Sinai through the unique personal stories and experiences of our longest-serving employees. We hope you enjoy the inspiring stories of their legendary Mount Sinai careers. All right, thank you for joining us here today. I'm Steve Fecto from Talent Development and Learning. I'm joined by my colleagues for this podcast series, Alyssa Gianandrea and Michael Joseph, and we have the pleasure of speaking today with someone who's celebrating 55 years of service at Mount Sinai here in 2025, Rose Santiago. Hello, Rose, and welcome.
Thank you.
All right, Rose, so I've known you for many of my years here, and not close to the 55 that you've been here. You got me by 30 years. But let's start for people who might not have known you or met you just yet, and tell us about where you work today, and then we're going to jump back to the beginning of your career in 1970. But where do you work today, and what do you do?
I work at hospital administration, and I'm the assistant to Jonathan Kuriakou, who's the chief operating officer of Mount Sinai. And I also support Dr. Rich, who is now the chief clinical officer, and all the VPs here in the office.
I've always known you in that president's office and the leadership office. How long have you been in that office?
Since the 90s, the early 90s.
Early 90s. Wow. So a staple at our leadership, supporting our leadership at Mount Sinai Medical Center at that time, and now Mount Sinai Health System.
Yeah. we were a little bitty thing, and now we're a city within a city. Yeah.
What brought you to Mount Sinai 55 years ago? How did you end up here?
My sister-in-law worked in HR, and the manager back then was called the manager of the laundry department, was looking for an assistant. I was working at some insurance company downtown, and she asked me if I was interested. I said yeah. She spoke with him, and I came in, and my interview consisted of 3 questions. Do you type? Yes. You take shorthand? Yes. And when can you start? That was it. I said,
you might not even know exactly what shorthand is. What was it, the skill that was a really important skill at the time?
Back then, I was able to take 120 words a minute in shorthand.
Wow. Oh, and how did you learn to do that?
Greg. Yeah, I learned Greg in school. There were 2 shorthand. You have Pittman and Greg. And I took Greg, and I was able to take 120 words a minute.
Wow.
I can't remember one symbol, but yes.
So type, shorthand, and when can you start? And you started in linen?
I started in the laundry department. It was the laundry. We did the laundry. It was from one end to the other, from the chute to the patient's bed. We collected the linen. We washed the linen. We sorted the linen. We folded the linen. And everything was linen. You had sheets, pillowcases, bath towels, washcloths, nursery stuff, bathrobes, blankets, all of that was done.
I'd love to hear more about that. Like, what was that department like then compared to how linen is done today?
Well, it consisted of 4 floors. Like the 5th floor was where the collectors went to the chutes with trucks and pushed it. There were no little trolleys sitting and driving a truck. They pushed this 600-pound trucks with dirty, soiled linen. It was done by hand. They put it in on a conveyor belt, the laundry bag, the dirty linen with blood and all kinds of stuff. And they sorted it, and then it was put through some hopper into the 4th floor where the washers and the dryers and stuff were. That was where my office was. They washed it, and then they dumped it down another conveyor to either the 3rd floor where the ironers were. They used to pick up the wet sheets and put it into this ironer, this humongous, that needed 2 people to grab each end and put it through this machine, and it pressed it, dried it, folded, and then there was another girl on the other end, picked it up and stacked it, and then we packed it and sent it to the second floor where they then packed the trucks that went to the floors.
Wow. So it was all done on site, where nowadays it's shipped out.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So what were you doing with Lennon, though? If you were doing the typing and the shorthand, were you in the administration office for?
I was, yeah.
What were
No,
you
I was
doing?
the secretary there. I did the time cards. I did all the purchase orders. I kept inventories. We did inventories with internal audit. We had to, let them know whatever. I don't 6 million pounds, 500 pounds. I don't remember how many pounds we did a year, how it was distributed.
And this was basically right at the start of the School of Medicine. It started
Absolutely.
in the 60s.
The medical school students graduated the year more or less that I came, and I welcomed Dr. Rich when he came to Mount Sinai.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, really?
Which is 41 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
And then, Annenberg was still to be built.
Well, Annenberg didn't exist
Yeah.
when I came. Annenberg was the first building I saw built.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I've seen them all.
Yeah. In Guggenheim and Annenberg.
Guggenheim, Annenberg, the building I'm in.
Yes, the Icon Medical Institute.
These were tenement buildings. I used to play hooky. Don't tell anybody. I used to play hooky in these buildings.
Does that mean you lived in the area?
Born and raised. Yeah. I remember Dr. Fuster when he was 55 years younger, He treated my grandmother and
Oh my God.
yeah.
Wow. So I know, Mount Sinai was in your community growing up. Would you have ever dreamed your entire career would have been here?
No. And certainly, and once I started, I never thought that I would stay. It wasn't something that I said, oh, this is going to be my life and stuff. No, it just happened. I was fortunate to have good people, and I worked with good people and willing to learn. I wanted to learn and I wanted to help. I wanted I was fortunate that I'm still here. Actually, I remember the strike we had in the 80s, was it? That lasted 42 days, 47 days.
Wow.
Oh my.
I slept in 5 East 98th Street. It was a nursing dorm.
Mm-hmm.
And I slept in one of those rooms, and I was so scared because I was like the only one on that floor, and it was spooky. But I was like in charge of the laundry department, but I managed these machines that I never thought I would be able to, but I did it. But it was 47 long, hard days. It was an experience, but we also had fun during strikes with the.
Gotta have some fun during the strike.
Yeah. After everybody did, after all the patients got their linens and were fed or whatever, we used to party. We would have.
Okay, that's how you be resilient. Party.
I'm not saying no more.
We'll leave it at that.
Well, I can't imagine the 70s and 80s parties of employees. It was a smaller population of
Oh my God,
7,000, 8,000 at a time.
Parties, they were parties. They were parties in the Annenberg, the first floor. That you had DJs,
Disco ball,
open bars, and we drank. We partied.
And so to think, there's people who are new today. You've been here for 55 years. So at one point you were new, and you would see people who had been here for 40 years, starting in the 30s and 20s, 30s, 40s.
In the department, in the laundry department, there was a woman that started in 1940 or something, 41, and Gloria Rana was her life number was 000731.
Oh,
Wow. Get out of here.
Wow, and you remember
I
that.
remember, yeah, I
You can't
remember
forget that.
the Gloria Rana.
Yeah. No, I know one of the things that's neat. I'm looking at images if people could see it. You've got a picture behind you of a celebrity. You've met a lot of famous faces through your role in administration too. No HIPAA. We're not talking about patients, but people that you've met. Tell us some of those experiences.
Yeah. Now I've shaken hands with some celebrities. Frank Sinatra, Faye Dunaway, Ryan O'Neal, Ali McGraw, Hillary Clinton, Martha Stewart.
Oh, Martha Stewart at the opening of the center.
Yeah.
That Martha.
Wow.
And I see Magic Johnson behind you in a fair.
And Magic, he came to see me 2 times.
Came to visit you.
2 times.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, this day here, I'm the only one. I mean, he must have seen at least 10, 15,000 people that day. But not to boast, but I'm the only one that has a signature. He signed it.
Oh, he signed it.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see the signature on there now. That is so cool.
Yeah. Back in the days, I used to sit and there was a little hole in the wall coffee shop, and I sat shoulder to shoulder with Dustin Hoffman, and we sat and we spoke, and they had some sort of an omelet named after him or something.
Oh, so
I don't know what it was, an omelet. I think he put some oregano or cheese or oregano or something like that. I said, okay, I'll have a Dustin Hoffman. We sat and we ate the omelet.
You and Dustin Hoffman ate the Dustin Hoffman omelet?
Yeah.
together?
Right there on Humford Street and Madison Avenue and 102nd
Come
Street.
on, Rose, have an omelet with me.
Yeah, no, that's such a New York thing, you know?
Armando's coffee shop.
So we're taking you back. I mean, you were doing this work. It was before a computer, before an email, a typewriter, and a phone.
I started with a manual. The day I walked in, April 20th, 1970, I remember what I had on. I remember everything. It was 7:50 in the morning, because Mondays I had to go in at 8, because I did time cards for 80 employees. My boss walks out and he's sick and he goes, welcome. I'm sorry, but I'm going to go to the doctor. I'm not feeling well. And he goes to Employee Health Service. He was admitted.
Oh, no.
He was admitted to the hospital. He was out, I think, 2 months or something, because he had pneumonia and pleurisy.
Oh, God.
And I was there with there was a secretary that was leaving there. She trained me for 2 weeks, and then I was left to the wolves. I cried. And back then, the salesmen and stuff used to walk in and go to your office and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And all these salesmen, every time they used to walk into my office, I'll be crying.
Oh, no. Just overwhelmed, but you didn't have your supervisor.
I didn't want to make a mistake. I really didn't want to make a mistake. So he was in Guggenheim. My boss was in the Guggenheim Pavilion, and
The original Guggenheim, not the one we know.
Oh,
right.
wow.
Well,
Today, right? Guggenheim Hall.
it was 1176 was the Guggenheim Pavilion back then.
Yep.
And I used to go to his room. So, and show him like, okay, this is the letter you wanted, or this is this. I need you to sign the time card. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. Then he says, okay, I need this. I need you a purchase order. I need a contract for this. I need this and that. And I go, okay. And then I come back, oh God. But people were there. Purchasing was right downstairs. So I would go to them and I would tell them, I need to do this. I need to create a contract for this. How do I do it? And they would walk you and show you. And, once you did it once or twice, then it was okay. But a lot of times these salesmen would come in and I'll be like boo-hooing.
Oh, no. If you think your first day isn't meaningful or memorable, hear this story. because you still carried the emotion and the stress with you.
No,
55 years later, what
it
was
was
it like?
horrendous. It was, I didn't think I was going to make it. As a matter of fact, the assistant and him had made a bet that I wouldn't pass the probation, that I wouldn't be able to make it. I didn't know it until afterwards, that they said, the assistant came and he says, I lost the bet. I said, what are you talking about? And he says, no, George said, no, she's going to make it. She'll be okay. She'll be okay. And he didn't think I was going to make it. So
Didn't think you'd pass probation, and here you are, 55 years.
yeah. And I started making $116.15 was my starting salary back in 19.
For what?
That was a week.
Salary?
A week.
That was week.
A weekly salary of 160.
That was my salary. The union was just starting to make 100. They had gone out on strike and they were just going to make 100.
100 per week.
And then after the probation, then I went to 123 back in the 1970.
Paid by a check in a check line. You had to go.
The check, yes.
Oh, wow.
Go pick it up.
A paper check. I had to go pick it up. I had to give it out to each person. They had to sign for it and everything. Yeah.
Wow. Rose, this has been fantastic. But to give you a chance to kind of wrap things up, just, if you could summarize your experience at Mount Sinai, anything you'd say about what it's meant to you to have this one place where your entire life career.
I love it. I love it. In spite of everything and stuff, I love it. I've grown. I came in a young 20 years old, I was 20 years old. I had just made 20 years 5 days before. And, so I've grown old here. So this is home. This is my home, away from home.
Wait, yes, of course.
Away from home. And I've had good days and I've had bad days, trust me, but this is home.
And what, if I had to ask one more, I'm going to keep saying one more question, Rose, because I don't want to stop talking to you. What about the work you're doing now, or being part of the team, or just being a part of Mount Sinai, keeps that energy going for you to say, like, I like being here. I want to keep being here. Like, what keeps
Because
you
every day is something different. There's so much going on, and I like to see stuff when at the beginning stages, but I like to see it also at the end stages when it's complete, and that's what keeps me going. Like I want to see it. I want to see it. Like the Hess building. I didn't think I was gonna. I was ready to retire. Like, I'm gonna retire at 62 or 65 or whatever. And here I am. They're gonna build another building, and they're gonna build more buildings, and I'm still here.
Yeah, that was like 12 years ago. The Hess building going up.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I'll be 75.
So that's what's keeping you going. Is there's always something new and exciting happening around Mount Sinai where you say, well, now I want to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
I want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
That's a really wonderful,
I want to be a part of that. I want to, because I could turn around and say, I saw that happen. I saw that happen. I was part of this happening. I was here when this happened. I could say that, and it's fulfilling.
Beautiful.
This has been the Mount Sinai Legend Circle podcast, produced and hosted by Talent Development Learning. We'll see you next time.